Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a good morning in sunny Colorado. Um, we got some things to talk about. I normally don't get political on this page, but it's time. It's time that we start protecting our rights. And what this state is doing under King Polis is atrocious, most especially when it comes to destroying our farming, our ranching, our hunting, our ability to access food for our families via hunting, DPW, and their illegal actions against the American people, the citizens of this state, selling off our wildlife to out of staters and turning all the previously over the counter tags into draws now. So they can get more money per license because they're losing revenue because this state's failure to represent the people and our Constitution and our rights. Not only that, but King Polis has done everything he could do. And I'm going to get into this. Everything he can do to destroy our way of life here in Colorado. You know, I'm a transplant. I came from Pennsylvania as a hunting, fishing, wilderness guide. I didn't come here to change Colorado. I allowed Colorado to change me. I adapted the lifestyle of Coloradians that came before me. That's ranching, farming, outdoor adventures, outfitter, packer, guide, fishing guide, wilderness guide, survivalist guide. So I think I'm pretty well versed through school hard knocks and 27 years of professionally guiding. I think I can. I think I have some things to say about this. And with the wolf introduction, I was against it. I've been against it. Many of my friends on the lean a little bit left were all for it. I've never been for it. This forest cannot sustain wolf population. It is sick. Our National Forest Service has dropped the ball over and over again for the last 100+ years in their no burn policy. Their no burn policy is anytime there's a lightning strike to go and put it out. Doesn't allow for the forest to rejuvenate through fire. And because of that, 100 years of debris on the ground, that impedes the elk, that impedes the deer. They cannot migrate, they cannot move. Then you introduce the wolves to it. So, really, you get down to it, the wolves were used as a political pawn. And it was totally illegal. This King Polis, played on people's heartstrings, put it to the vote, made it sound like, oh, we absolutely need wolves. Okay, that's fine. But did Polis follow the law? Absolutely not. Federal law and Endangered Species Act clearly states you cannot bring wolves into this state from freaking foreign countries like Canada. They didn't test them. They didn't do anything to them. It was a hard drop. So let's get into it. Here we go. Oh, I want to give a shout out while I'm doing this to Timber Lodge for turning me on to all this really good information. And I touched the button I wasn't supposed to, and now I have to go looking for it. All right. Wolves, War, and the War on Ranchers. Why Colorado Reintroduced Program is a Threat to Land, Livelihood, and Liberty. By me, Robert, the Goat Guy. I'm also the founder of GERF, Geoengineered Regenerative Farming. And what it comes down to, in late 2023, Colorado Parks and Wildlife, CPW, released its 15 Canadian gray wolves into the state's western slope. This was not a soft release with acclimation, enclosures, or ecological safeguards. It was a hard drop into unfamiliar terrain near grazing lands with no transition period. The wolves were sourced from Canada despite federal guidance that reintroduced populations must come from U.S. Rocky Mountain states. The move has sparked outrage among ranchers, wildlife experts, and constitutional advocates, and for good reason. Look, King Polis didn't read the law. Now, here's the deal. Do as I say, not as I do, or I will arrest you and put you in jail. If you and I would ever go to Canada and get wild wolves right out of Canada, brought them here, dropped them off on our ranch to be observed, you'd go to jail for 10 years, 15 years. But King Polis, he's above the law. All right? So, it was a rogue release. The wolves selected by CPUW were not neutral actors. They came from regions in Canada with a documented history of livestock predation and conflict with ranchers. These are apex predators, larger and more aggressive than native populations, dropped into unfamiliar terrain without pack cohesion, prey, familiarity, or human avoidance conditioning. CPW's own biologists warned against this strategy. Their concerns were ignored. Governor Jared Polis, who championed the reintroduction, dismissed rural opposition, including from CPW's own staff, and played to urban voters' emotions. The ballot initiative passed in 2020, but the implementation has been anything but democratic. Ranchers were told to sit down and shut up while wolves were released near calving grounds and grazing corridors. My summary of this is that we have a king as a governor. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about I. He doesn't care about how much suffering is going on, how much suffering he causes for American citizens. He has a different agenda. And his agenda is not good. The cost of predation and stress. The impact on ranchers is not just emotional, it's biological and financial. Lower birth rates, cattle exposed to wolves, even visually experienced elevated cortisol results, disrupting productive cycles. Reduced weight gain. Chronic stress leads to poor feed conversions, lower body weight, and diminished market value. Direct losses. Calves killed, cows injured, herds scattered, uncompensated damage. State programs reimburse confirmed kills, but not indirect losses. But indirect losses go ignored. Okay, what's the indirect losses? I just mentioned it. Reduction in birth rates, reduction in weight of cattle going to the market. This is unreimbursable income to small family ranches. Now remember who King Polis is. He's a vegan. He wants to destroy the family ranch. He can't just come up with policies that says, you can't ranch anymore, you can't eat meat anymore. So he does it subvertly by going to Canada. Why does Polis always go to Canada and lobby in Canada and lobby against our own meat producers, our own cattlemen, our own chicken farms, everything? Because he has an agenda. And you are part of the problem. And that problem has to be solved. You are not allowed to eat meat. I'll get into that. The pattern of pressure is exactly as what I'm describing. This isn't an isolated incident. It's part of a broader trend. Polis declared MeatOut Day in 2021. That tells us exactly where he stands. He does not stand with Colorado growers. He does not stand with our ranchers, our farmers at all. And there's only two businesses in the world, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Two businesses in the world, and that's it. And those businesses are mining and ranching, farming. Okay? Farming, that's all inclusive. Everything that you get from the grocery store, this man is trying to take it away from you. Why? Because it goes back to what Kissinger said. Control the oil, you control the nations. Control the food, you control the people. And that's what these Democrats and every Democrat-led state is trying to do to its population. Absolute control on everything you say, everything you eat, everything you do, what goes in your body, what doesn't go in your body. You have no say. And that's it. So, let's get back into this. This isn't an isolated incident. It's a part of a broader trend. Polis declared MeatOut Day in 2021, arguing Colorado to skip meat entirely. His administration has promoted plant-based alternatives. Now, do you know anything about the plant-based alternatives? They get these zombie genes from, I should have done research, but I can't remember her name right now. But and these zombie genes live forever. These cells live forever. So they're making this plant alternative meat out of zombie genes from a cancer. Oh, yeah. You ever see that movie from Will Scott? What's it called? Legend? I Am Legend? Yeah, that's exactly what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, his administration has promoted plant-based alternatives while downplaying the role of livestock in Colorado's economy. It's a multi-billion-dollar economy. Now, why are they doing it? They want us off the land so that they have control of everything, every aspect of our life, to include our food and water. Wildlife policy is being used as a tool to land control, pushing ranchers off the land under the guise of conservation. Well, I'd like to thank Big Timber Ridge for interviewing Mr. Greg Lopez. This is a guy that, first time I ever heard him speak, or ever really heard of him. I know he's a congressman, got out of the Congress, did his job, and now he's running for governors. He's in the governor's race. He is the only candidate has taken on this issue for rural Colorado. 97% of Colorado is rural mountains, rural communities. 97% of these counties voted for President Trump, which he won the mandate through the Electoral College and, most importantly, the popular vote. He won the mandate. And Polis and all the Democrat states are going against this mandate, going against you and I. And with this government shutdown, Polis blames Trump, but Trump's not the one who did it. It's the Democrats who voted 13, 14, 15 times. I've lost count. 4 weeks now to shut down the government because you and I pain. To use as leverage. And that's what these psychopaths do. Then they call their opponents fascist, totalitarian, authoritarian. But they're the ones being the fascist, authoritarian, totalitarian psychopaths, especially with the wolf reintroduction program. So I stand with Greg Lopez, and I am voting for him because he's fighting for us. He doesn't have to. He didn't have to. And this is just a promotion. He likes doing this. This is his thing. A veteran. He served this country honorably and still continues to serve us and this nation. So, hats off, sir. My salute. Thank you very much. Wolverines! And I live in a town where Wolverines is our mascot. So, standing with Greg Lopez in the face of this assault on rural autonomy, that's what it comes down to. Greg Lopez has emerged as a defender of Colorado's producers. He has challenged the legitimacy legitimacy of the wolf reintroduction at the federal level, demanding accountability and transparency. Lopez understands that conservation without consent is coercion. Coercion. Do you understand that? We're being coerced to deal with these wolves. And you better not touch them. You better not protect your flock, your herd, your property, your rights, your liberty, or your sovereign, or you will go to jail for killing an invasive species that is not even supposed to be here, according to our own federal laws. So tell me, is he not a king? Oh, he has challenged okay, I got off on a tangent there. Lopez understands that conservation without consent is coercion, and that family ranchers are not relics, but the backbone of our food system and culture. Back during the Depression day, 93% of the people were in ag. Now, 97% live in cities. Our farmers and ranchers are elderlying out, aging out. Our average age of the rancher and farmer is 60 years old. I'm 61. I know. And I go to church, and all I see in my church is geared for ranchers and farmers. And that's who mostly go to this church. They're old. And their sons and daughters are not taking up the mantle. Why? Because everybody looks down on farmers. There's no money in it anymore. They have taken all the revenue and profit out of it. Let's look at a farmer trying to get in, a young farmer trying to get into buying property to raise cattle. Back in the day, in the 70s, it was $90 an acre for ag land, and it cost you $90 for a steer. Scout, Val, come here. Come. And so it was a 1-to-1 ratio. Now it's a 9-to-1 ratio, okay? Because you're going to pay up to $7,000 an acre, and $900 for a steer. You can't raise a family on that. And this is a death by 1,000 slashes. Slice this, slash that. And the EPA said back whenever Obama was in office that they're going to turn eating meat into as undesirable as smoking cigarettes. That is their goal. That is their plan. And they are initiating it. You want to starve? Keep supporting Democrats. You want to be hungry? Can't support your family? Keep supporting Democrats. Keep supporting the Democrat Party. Keep voting Democrat, and you'll go through COVID mandates continuously. You will be told what you can eat, what you can't eat. You have food lines. You have rationing. That's the communist way. And you can't tell me the Democrat Party is a communist. So wake up, America. Wake up, Colorado. We are at war. We didn't declare the war. They declared it on us. As the founder of a veteran-led regenerative movement, I support Greg Lopez for governor of Colorado. He listens to the soil, the stockmen, and the people who live by the land. He's not afraid to speak truth to power, obviously. Protect property rights and restore balance between ecology and economy. Now, I have family members that are liberals and progressives, and whenever I proclaim that I am anti-establishment, first thing they say is, I'm pro-establishment. They're anti-establishment, but their actions are pro-establishment. They defend the establishment. They defend FEMA in its actions. They defend the the welfare state. I'm disabled. I have epilepsy. You know, I have issues. I have problems, but I deal with them the best I can. They try to kill me with their medications, pharmaceutical medications, and all my problems have been solved homeopathically through food. I still suffer the epilepsy. That'll never go away, and it will probably kill me. And it is definitely going to shorten my life, one way or another. So, this government shutdown harms people like me. And why? Because the Democrats want leverage to get $1.4 trillion of spending for things that the American people rejected in our last vote, where President Trump won the election. The Democrats always talk about democracy, saving democracy, but when a democracy doesn't go their way, they go to the streets, burn, loot, and murder. And we see it going on right now. They didn't get their way, so they're out there burning, looting, murdering, attacking law enforcement. And then you have Democrat mayors in certain cities, Chicago, Portland, demanding the police stand down and not aid and assist, violating all federal laws. This is the Democrat way. Polis right here has violated all the federal laws to bring these undocumented wolves. And they're undocumented because they didn't go through the federal government to do so. What's the answer? I don't just create the problems. I don't just highlight the problems. What is the true answer? It's not wolves. It's not the Democrat Party. Colorado future must be built on stewardship, not sabotage. Polis, King Polis. That's all you're doing is sabotaging us. We need policies that honor producers, protect biodiversity through collaboration. There's no collaboration, King Polis. Not conflict. Polis created the conflict with us, knowing full well that it was going to cause ranchers, but he's the no meat king. He's the no meat king. I don't want to get it. This is family. I can say some things, but stop. All right. And restore dignity to those who feed and care for the land. Wolves have a place in our ecosystem. Absolutely. But not as weapons of political warfare against farming and ranching to destroy our way of life, our traditions. We have farmers here and ranchers here that have been here for generations, handed down from family member to family member. Scout, come on, leave the goats alone. Come on. He just always got to work. And if I'm not paying attention to the goats, he thinks he has to take over. So I have to give him a little call back. But he's a great dog. Now, ladies and gentlemen, probably know by the name of my YouTube channel, I raise goats. I raise goats to be my pack goats. They supply me with milk, meat, income through fire and weed mitigation. I love my goats. And if I caught a wolf trying to kill my goats, what do you think I'm going to do? Huh? I'm going to do what any shepherd in the Bible would do. David killed lions, tigers, and bears, did he or did he not? He even killed people to protect his flock. That's our God-given right. That's inalienable rights. So, that's called universal law, common law, Magna Carta, the Iroquois Confederacy, United States Constitution, and the Iroquois Confederacy. You are all Native Americans. You were born here. You are under Native American law. When we adopted the Constitution, that was drawn from the Iroquois Confederacy. A lot of these things came to us through blood and experience. A lot of people died. And throughout the history of this world, people have not ever had the right to own private property. And these people want to destroy America. And America and Trump and his supporters stand in the way of their totalitarian, authoritarian take over this world, not just this nation. And they're infiltrated in every segment of our government. From local government, your city, your council, your county, your state, your federal government. And it's time for you and I to weed these people out. They do not have our best interests in mind, and they're doing everything they can to destroy and harm us. Please, for your own sake, go to the polls, vote these people out, and let's pray that everybody that we vote for has so much fear of the American people that they'll never betray us like this again. Vote them out. Let's get back to fundamental constitutional law. That means protect and preserve our Second Amendment. That means protect and preserve our First Amendment. They go after all of our constitutional rights that they're afraid of. Let me tell you something, people. My rights, your rights, do not end where their fear begins. Make politicians afraid again. So, thank you very much. It's probably a little bit longer than I wanted to do, but you know what? I hope you have more than a 30-second attention span and watch this whole thing so the algorithm picks this up and shares it with everybody else. You watch 100% of this, that means that the algorithm will pick it up and spread this message. You leave a like and a comment, the algorithm picks it up. So, if you like this content, and there's going to be more of it because I'm done. I'm done being nice. I'm done keeping my mouth shut and just making comments. It's time for me to put my face out there, put myself out there, and I expect everybody that is a true blue American patriot to do the same. Please, or we're going to lose everything. Remember, these people want us dead, and they will celebrate our death, like Charlie Kirk. We cannot unify with people who want you dead. It's a death cult. The Democrat Party has turned into an absolute death cult. I used to be a Democrat. But the Democrat Party went so far left, they left me behind. They left you behind. They choose everybody first but the American people. And this shutdown should say it all. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm ending this now. Just know that I'm very frustrated. And we need action. But that action cannot be violent. We have to bring about change through the pen. The pen is mightier than the sword. And we have given them all the rope they need to hang themselves. Now, we got to just allow them to jump off. And they're doing it. I can't thank the Democrat Party enough for doing what they're doing. You're helping us more than you know. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Later, gators. Get a goat and go, you goat heads.